Hi. If you thought mathematics makes simple things complicated, you've got to let me enter your life, your classroom, and your world. And I'll prove to you shortly that really, mathematics makes complicated things simple. So for all those of you out there who have the Class 12 board exams ahead of you, welcome to Gyan Guru, the show that makes textbooks simple and exams simpler. I'm Sanjeev Mukherjee, your personal mathematics Google man. Give me anything with numbers, I'll help crunch them for you. In fact, stay with me for the next half an hour and I'll walk you into the world of integration. When we are done with integration, I can confidently say that you will be well on your way to crack the 18 marks allotted to integration every year, and at 1/3 the time you would normally take to solve them. Right, it's time now to check up what's on the sketch today. We begin at the beginning. What is integration? How is it different from the differentiation you learned last year? We'll also decode the symbols you need to know and also figure out why the constant of integration always shows up in some form or the other in all problems. And once you've mastered that, we'll move to some standard formulae. They form the building blocks of integration, quite like the alphabets of integration. You need to memorize them, but do not worry. We'll even work out ways of remembering them. And finally, we'll apply the formulae to solve integration problems that appear in your question papers. Right, so before we get down to business, just thought I would ask you to keep your eye on a couple of things that might suddenly appear and float around me. Well, they're basically help aids that go beyond your regular classroom to help you visualize the concepts better. Now, for starters, always watch this space. This is where the formulae will appear. So if we are working out a problem and you're not sure about the formula, you know where to look. And then there is Gyan Check. It will throw up questions, you take the test, choose your option and figure out if you are on the same page. If you're not, or you think you've missed out on something, watch out for the Gyan Guru Rewind. It will be a quick wrap of concepts discussed so far. Now let's face it, most of us are in this because we want to max the math paper, which is exactly why you need to look out for Guru Speak, a super tip from an examiner who gets you an insight on just how papers are set and corrected. But the one thing that's going to make you tune into Gyan Guru every time we are on air is reality check. Believe me, it's a work of art from our statisticians. We've got a dedicated team of researchers who wade through years and years of question papers so that they can arrive at some fantastic stats just to help you max your paper. So if you want to know the weightage of a particular chapter or perhaps what kind of questions you can expect from them, their level of difficulty or even the exact time to marks ratio you need to maintain, we'll have it all worked out for you. If you've been through a reality check, no exam paper will surprise you ever. But for that, you've got to wait till the end of this episode. As you can see, integration is just the opposite of differentiation. That's why an integral is also called an antiderivative. Now let's just take a look at some of these functions. X cubed minus 3, x cubed plus log e, x cubed plus 7, and find their derivatives. Pretty simple. The answer to all these is 3x squared. So now let's work backwards. What did I differentiate to get 3x squared? Or rather, what is the integral of 3x squared? Is it x cubed minus 3, x cubed plus log e, or x cubed plus 7? Confused? Well, there's a very simple fix. Whenever you integrate, you need to add something called the constant of integration, c, just to resolve the kind of confusion we just saw. And that some of the basics are out of the way, there are some important standard formulae for integration. Now these formulae are the alphabets of integration. All of integral calculus is built around them, so you have to know them by heart. Write them down, recite them all day, do what you can, but they must be at your fingertips. Notice the constant of integration is present in every formula. Well, that brings me to my first caller, Shikha from NPS Bangalore. Shikha, go ahead.
Sir, we know that the constant of integration is added to all integrals, but what does this constant of integration really mean?
Right. Well, Shikha has brought up a very, very relevant point. And though it may not have a direct bearing on your question paper, understanding this will definitely give you a better insight into what actually integration is. So It's really important to be conceptually clear. If you're on the right track, nothing will stop you from getting the marks, not even a really tough examiner. And now, something that a lot of you have been waiting for, the reality check. Now, this is where our team of expert statisticians come in to help you max your paper. What they've done is basically scan the mathematics question papers of the last 10 years and have identified trends and some fantastic stats that will help you preempt possible integration problems in the paper this year. Not just that, they've also worked out a time to mark ratio for every integration problem, just to ensure that you do not go into extra time while solving a problem. And we've also polled over 200 students from all across the country just to gauge difficulty levels of various concepts. In fact, let's just get on with it.
Well, let's take a look at this Manhattan. It's a record of the weightage given to integration by examiners every year. We go back to 1997 and trace integration in the exams over the last 10 years. And as you can see, it has always hovered between 16 and 18. The only time it shot up to almost 20 was in 2000, and the lowest it touched was 14 in 2001. The last 3 years have pegged a constant at 17, so it only seems natural that we may not see a major deviation this year. It would make sense to expect around 17 marks out of 100 from integration. Now, a closer look at the last 3 years, 2004, 2005 and 2006. 2004 saw 60% of integration problems from integration by substitution and 40% from integration by parts. 2005 was a healthy mix between all major concepts. Integration by partial fractions accounted for 35%. Integration by substitution accounted for 45%. And integration by parts garnered 18%. In 2006, all problems involved integration by substitution. In terms of difficulty level, we polled almost 200 students who appeared for the Class 12 exams last year from 10 cities across India. Integration stands at 6.7 on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the easiest and 10 is mind-boggling. And now we move on to the time to mark ratio, or how much time you should spend per mark in the paper. You're given 180 minutes or 3 hours to solve 100 marks. Take away 30 minutes for revision and you're left with 150 minutes, which means you can take up to 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds to solve 1 mark. Our statisticians have worked out that on an average, in integration, it takes 1.5 minutes to solve a 3-mark problem, which means you save 3 minutes. 2.5 minutes to solve a 4-mark problem, which works out to saving 3.5 minutes. And 5 minutes to solve a 6-mark problem, which means here you save up to 4 minutes. In all 3 cases, you're well below the average of 90 seconds per mark, which suggests that whenever you attempt integration, you're always saving at least 40% of your time.
I really wish I had access to such analysis in my time. Well, I hope this has been very, very useful to all of you. For more on such tips, trends, analysis, just log on to our website, www.greycells18.com. And if you would like more tests, send an SMS with the keywords INTE in caps to 8818. And we'll make sure that you are completely geared to take on integration in the exams. And don't forget to join us for the next lesson, where we will tell you how you can practically make use of integration out there in the real world. Until then, from all of us here at Gyan Guru, study well, study smart.